The events described all really, truly happened. Here are my sources. I was out partying during New Year's, you know, as I do, when my phone started blowing up. Everyone was blowing up my phone telling me that Alex, my good pal Alex, finally made a response to the stuff that happened in October, and I'll be trying my best to recreate the sound I made when I found out. YandereDev 3, Apathy Crusaders, the third film in a trilogy made by a hack writer who has absolutely no idea what he's doing. How do I have 50k? On the 3rd of October, I posted maybe the greatest video on YouTube history. YandereDev, the worst game developer ever. It did really well and I made so much money from it. So much that I managed to pay off exactly $20 from my credit card debt of £1 million. Originally, I made that video to talk about everything that happened up until 2021. However, Alex just couldn't help himself and added a few extra minutes to my video by actively, unnecessarily, undoubtedly grooming a child. To be honest, I kind of already thought Alex was a I mean, like, I have a very different image of what girls are supposed to be painted in my head than what they actually are. I've always wanted a girlfriend who acted youthful, babyish, feminine, innocent, naive, childlike, uncomplicated, unsophisticated, trusting, charming, polite, pleasant, sweet, lovable, cute, saphiric, malleable. These qualities could be represented by anything from personality to cute patterns. I've always wanted a girl who could make me want to hug her and protect her and nurture her. The Japanese actually have a word for this kind of girl. It's called moe. Pronounced Mo-A with a long O followed by a long A. What the f am I reading? Like, the evidence is right there. I basically dedicated the entire month to just tearing down literally everything Alex has ever tried to work on. Firstly, his horrendous first game where he got advice from the developer of Skullgirls and just didn't take any of it.
Hates my fighting game. It's the opposite of what I envisioned. I don't hate the game, I hate your attitude. I have done most of the work. There are just things you asked for that happen to not be implemented. Then you have not done most of the work, because the things I'm asking for are basic building blocks of a fighting game. You don't seem to understand that part. How is it not impressive that I single-handedly created a fighting game? I made a game with intros, idols, walks, runs, jumps, dashes, air dashes, specials, health meters, super meters, throws, air throws, and I hand animated every animation myself. Isn't that impressive? Isn't that respect worthy? So there's an organization problem. Can't I hear a single encouraging word? Like, all I'm hearing is, you suck at everything, I'd never hire you, I'd never work for you. No one has taken away your progress. The fact you got here is its own encouragement, your own validity, but you still have a ways to go. Nope, nothing has validity anymore. I started making a game because of Mike Z, and then he personally shat on it. You see only flaws because you only saw poorly organized code written by an amateur programmer. If I showed you the final playable prototype and let you play it with a controller in your hands, I wonder how much different your feedback would have been. A big part of the motivation was that I wanted to make a cool game that might impress the predicist Mike Z and my buddies Skullgirls chat. And look at what happened.
Which became a trend with his second and unfortunately successful game, Yandere Simulator. This game was so bad, lads. So bad I genuinely thought the game would kill me. Am I okay? No, I'm epileptic. Very not okay. Like, I gotta stop playing. I genuinely have to stop playing for that. Holy fuck, I'm overpouring. Fuck me. My eyes. Oh my god. Oh my god. Jesus fucking Christ. Why is there not an epilepsy warning in the game?
Do you think he cares if you have epilepsy?
No, I don't. I don't believe he cares for a minute. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Oh
It
my
was all a
god.
dream.
It was
It was like a pyrocynical bit. Like, it was all in my head.
Genuinely asking, are you good? Okay, for context, I played through the entirety of Sonic CD in like one sitting where I almost like just died from like how bad like a single like stage is fucking me up. I almost fell down the stairs, but I'm good.
Did he crash? No, auto fall.
I auto afford. That game is so bad Definitely the most sad part was his attempts at trying to get his girlfriend by posting these pictures. I'm sure these didn't lead to anything unfortunate, and I'm even more sure that there were absolutely no memes created using these images. You have my honest and true Scout's honor. At this point, I'm just giving you a summary of my last video, so you might as well go watch that one if you're unfamiliar with the situation. But let's be real, you're here for that juicy update. What has Alex been up to since those last two videos? Well, firstly, he seemed to have gotten out of the house, which is good. I also hope he took my advice about maybe stepping away from development and living his life. No. Alex made his fourth response to his grooming allegations. Two of these responses I have read out in another YouTube video which you should watch because I'm the biggest shill for the Definitely Bored Oranges channel. I don't really know how exactly he was supposed to address this in any way that would make everyone happy, other than quitting or killing himself, or both. But things cannot be that simple, unfortunately. Alex instead made this the Price is Right losing sound effect of a response, and it's bad. Oh, I'll be talking about the victim's statement in a few minutes, because holy hey! Alex really set himself up for failure by doing what he did. Anyhow, enough stalling. It's almost like I don't want to make this video or something, but here goes.
Hello, I'm YandereDev, the developer of Yandere Simulator. Last year, an extremely serious allegation was made about me that I would like to address. The accusation is that I attempted to groom an underage fan of my game. I will take accountability and admit that I did discuss inappropriate topics with a fan. However, the accusation that I deliberately attempted to groom this fan is false. In this video, I would like to apologize for what I feel I should apologize for.
Okay, look, I know the video just started and I should give him a fair shot or whatever, but for anyone wondering what these inappropriate messages with an underage fan was, let me remind you.
Mother Nature sexualizes minors. Puberty starts to give breasts and wide hips to children before they turn 18. It's not like, a person does it to a child. The child's own body does it to themselves. It's not like an adult can go to a child and cast a magic spell that gives them breasts. Haha, I've sexualized you. I gave you breasts. And the child is like, no. No, the child just does it. The child's body does it automatically. A child gradually becomes an adult over time because of puberty.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Doing it. What, does it sound silly when I phrase it like that?
It sounded really silly.
But it's true, though.
And when this finally surfaced, Alex sex licensed YandereDev pressured the minor into saying that they lied about everything. That's just what innocent people do. Try to suppress evidence and lie. 20 seconds. Honestly, that is much longer than I thought it would take for you to just cap, so good job, I guess.
Last year, a fan of my game contacted me and wanted to chat. Usually, when a fan tries to talk with me, I just tell them that I'm too busy. But this person seemed really nice and friendly and funny.
And a feminine voice. Whoa, who said that? What the heck?
So I decided, you know what? Sure, let's talk. She let me know right off the bat that she was 16, but I didn't see any problem with that. When I was 16, I had online friends that were in their 20s and 30s, so it just didn't feel weird to me.
Okay, factoring in that this was a year ago, that would make you 34 years old, talking to a 16-year-old. The jokes write themselves. And I rate them too. Wow, Alex and Minilad must have a lot in common. Oh man, that was hilarious. Let me get my mic really close to my knee so you can hear this knee slapper. That really hurt.
I didn't see any problem with that. When I was 16, I had online friends that were in their 20s and 30s, so it just didn't feel weird to me. In the beginning, our conversations were normal, but she had a kind of adult sense of humor, and every now and then she would bring up a topic or ask a question that wasn't really appropriate. When this would happen, I wasn't entirely comfortable with it, but I rationalized to myself that it was no big deal and just kept talking.
We have just hit the 1 minute mark, and there are already so many issues I have with this line of thinking. Firstly, Alex subtly puts all of the blame on the minor because they had an adult sense of humor. Now, I've been at this for maybe 1 or 2 years, and I'm telling you this is literally cliche language. Even down to blaming it all on the minor. When could you ever blame the child for the actions of a 34-year-old man? Get real for a second.
With her. Eventually, I must have said something that sounded like a red flag to her, because at some point she started to record our conversations just in case I turned out to be some kind of predator.
I have a very different image of what girls are supposed to be painted in my head than what they actually are. I've always wanted a girlfriend who acted youthful, babyish, feminine, innocent, naive, childlike, uncomplicated, unsophisticated, trusting, charming, polite, pleasant, sweet, lovable, cute, spheric, malleable. These qualities could be represented by anything from personality to cute patterns. I've always wanted a girl who could make me want to hug her and protect her and nurture her. The Japanese actually have a word for this kind of girl. It's called moe. Pronounced Mo-A, with a long O followed by a long A.
Yeah, I would be too, to be honest. Alex then shows a statement from the victim that totally clears his name and he didn't write. But I'm gonna need everyone to make a mental note of this. It's a surprise tool we're going to use later to prove that Alex is a manipulative piece of you know, if the last 10 years hadn't already done that.
But anyway, because I had gotten into the habit of being really candid around this girl and just casually responding to whatever she said, it was very easy for her to get recordings of me answering questions I shouldn't have answered and discussing topics I should not have discussed.
Candid, adjective. Truthful and straightforward. Frank. His responses were remarkably candid. Okay, so while Alex was saying that Mother Nature sexualizes minors, he was simply being straightforward, truthful, and frank? Thank you so much for your contribution to this case, Alex, you idiot. Like, did you not know what the word candid meant? If you did, then your straightforward and truthful responses make you look like a well, more than you already did. And if you didn't know what the word meant, then you have just given nitpicky assholes like myself unlimited ammo. Congratulations, you played yourself.
Then used those recordings to make a 40-minute long video accusing me of being a groomer. Out of respect for all of the people in the world who have actually been groomed, we should use the word grooming correctly. Grooming is when an adult tries to establish a relationship with a child with the intention of exploiting or abusing the child. That doesn't describe what I did. I didn't develop a friendship with the girl for that reason. That wasn't my intention. I did not attempt to establish a romantic or sexual relationship with the girl. But after having my behavior explained to me as commonly associated with romance, I can understand how it was interpreted that way.
Objection!
Yeah, this might have worked on the stupid and uneducated. However, I'm only one of those, and it's not the one you think. Alex straight up lies here, and there is actual evidence that backs this up. I would like everyone to pay attention to these Snapchat messages. I'm going to delete Snapchat now. There is something I wanted to ask you, but I know you probably won't do it. Please say I lied. None of it was real. I asked my friend to use an I asked my friend to use a YandereDev AI voice changer. That is not actually his voice. Please don't actually release any video. The quote-unquote evidence is all fake. I am so lonely and miserable and depressed and unhappy. Of course, the one time a girl is actually nice to me, I got attached. No, I did not try to have a romantic relationship with a child. I just got attached. Yeah, sure, okay, let's go with that, I guess. I read these out in my other video too, and it still pisses me off that he would even attempt this. Oh, woe is me, I couldn't lose my virginity to a minor. I'm gonna die a virgin. Wah, you're rich, who cares?
But more importantly, I never should have let conversations like that happen in the first place. A normal, mentally healthy adult would have just blocked the girl immediately after the very first time she said something inappropriate. But I didn't. And having to face that fact was a wake-up call that made me realize I had deteriorated mentally. So, after this whole controversy happened, I decided to take some time to just reflect and try to figure out how I had turned into the type of person who would let something like this happen. After talking it over with a lot of different people, I think I've developed an understanding of exactly how things got to this point, and I think I have the vocabulary to explain it now, too. Over the past 10 years, I neglected absolutely every aspect of my well-being in favor of working on my video game project.
Oh my god, he just couldn't help himself, could he? He couldn't help but bring up Yandere Simulator in his response to grooming allegations. I can't, this is too much. There is a time and place where I'd understand bringing this up, like on his Patreon or his blog, and I was wrong to give him shit for doing that originally. But here really wasn't the right place. No one cares about Yandere Simulator, and no one is surprised that you are a terminally online loser. But Alex, you've kind of always been like this, even before you started making Yandere Sim. Hell, even when it was thriving and super popular, you wanted a sex license to be created. You sold body pillows of your underage characters, and you said your ideal partner was youthful and babyish. And I'm trying not to lose my lunch just saying that. This isn't an, oh man, I was being self-destructive, please forgive me. This is a pattern throughout nearly your entire life being on the internet. I understand that you had a very isolated childhood, but the internet and your game are the two of the worst things for a guy like you. The internet allowed you to completely neglect real life and turned you into a 35-year-old man-child holding onto a dream he had a decade ago, while more talented and less controversial figures completely outshine him. I genuinely believe we're going to get Deltarune chapter 3 through 7 before Alex finishes this cursed game. And on the topic of that game, you have used your status to be an absolute creep or pressure companies into giving you what you want. You have maybe the worst relationship with your platform, and if you can't control yourself enough to just be a regular sad sack on the internet, then maybe you shouldn't have it.
I do feel that I've made mistakes that I need to apologize for. I allowed myself to deteriorate into a person who was making horrible decisions on a regular basis that not only harmed me, but also the people around me. By making some incredibly stupid and careless remarks during conversations I should not have been having, I created a huge, completely unnecessary scandal and made myself into a figure who is so controversial that people are afraid to be associated with me or have any kind of connection to my game. As a result, people who enjoyed contributing to the project had to quit.
No, Sherlock. You groomed someone. Not only did you do that, but you then tried to bury the evidence. Or are we not supposed to talk about that right now? This response is such an ick. It just ticks all the boxes of a person who genuinely is so detached from reality that they have managed to convince themselves that they aren't the bad person in the situation. Alex is so quick to victimize himself while doing the literal worst things possible because, oh, Kiwi Farms, oh, the Gremlins, oh, I didn't groom a child even though there is literal 4K evidence that anyone could easily find.
This is 4K! How did they get you at 4K?
That ain't me.
Oh, you f***ing brainlet, Jesus Christ. You actually had one job. Make the game and shut up. Just use Tinder or some shit. Jesus.
Where do we go from here? Well, I don't think that 3 months of self-care are enough to magically fix every flaw I've ever had. I'm sure I still have plenty of room for self-improvement, but I'm doing a lot better mentally now than I was before, and I think I'm ready to get back to work. I'm going to continue releasing updates for the game, and I'm going to continue releasing videos on my secondary channel. I understand that there's probably going to be less people contributing to the game, less people playing the game, and less people supporting the game, but I just have to live with that. No matter what kind of numbers I have, whether it's views or downloads or income or anything else, I'm still going to keep working on the game. It's too important to me for me to ever give up on it.
As tradition goes, I'm usually not nicer to people who have received a bunch of harassment because 9 times out of 10 harassment is bad. But Alex has finally proven that no matter how many opportunities he is given, he will always be the same worthless, boring loser he always has been. Hotel. I've already said that Alex should just stop making the game, stop using his accounts, etc. But I realized something and why Alex will never stop. He could burn down a hospital filled with sick kids with cancer and he could still work on the game. And that's because it's all he has left. Alex has wasted his entire life sitting in front of a computer screen, responding to emails, streaming games of DSP levels of commentary, and making an indie game that has no place even being brought up in the same sentence as the ones that started development at the same time. It must kill Alex that the one thing he will always be known for isn't the cum chalice, not the Discord speedruns, but his barely functioning game that nobody likes. It must kill him knowing that Toby Fox has made 2 games in the time it's taking him to add a single rival in the game. That fact, all of these games had even shorter development time and finished before he could even lose his virginity. It must kill Alex knowing that someday his wealth is going to dry up, and when that does, he'll have to face the uncomfortable truth that without Yandere Simulator, he doesn't matter. He'll have to get a real job, like everyone else. He'll have to face real world consequences for his actions, because at a real job, you can't stream 5 days a week and then cram all your work in the last 2 weeks before a deadline. At a real job, you can't blame volunteers for working slowly, and at a real job, you can be fired suddenly if you're not producing enough work, and I bet that terrifies him. Oh right, he deleted his response. Oh man, who would have seen that coming? Not me, no sir, this hasn't happened before. Where'd the video go? The video has been set to private. I did not wish to do. Unfortunately, the video is putting a specific individual at risk. Not me, someone else. I felt that the video was extremely important and I really wanted it to remain public. However, as long as it was causing tangible harm to someone's life, I couldn't allow it to remain visible. Perhaps this will change one day in the future, but for now, it must remain private. I would like to express my gratitude to everyone who watched the video, accepted my apology, forgave me, and encouraged me to keep bettering myself and working on the game. Wow, for the sake of protecting the victim. That's weird, because in this video, there is absolutely no way of finding the victim, the other person who would have been at risk, so I genuinely think he's lying again. What is the lie counter at now? Like 100? Here's my own little crackpot theory on what I think happened. Hiccups. Alex made his video for his core audience and then removed it as quickly as possible before it got flooded with people who watch other people's commentary videos to get their opinions. That's right, I'm talking about the viewer at home. Nah, I'm joking, I love you guys. I wish that was the end, I really do. But I have 2 documents I need to read in full to prove just how awful Alex really is. Hey, do you remember when... Hey, look at me, not the drawing tablet. Do you remember when I brought up that surprise tool we could use later? Yeah, here it is. That whole "here are the victim's words themselves" crap very quickly went out the window once I was able to get my hands on Alex's comments for the original document. And I want to clarify this because I know some dumbass is gonna say something in the comments. No, the victim's dad is not threatening legal action against anybody. It's Alex. Let's be so serious. I've received 2 separate comments about this, and I don't know if someone is with me, but in both cases, no illegal action was taken. Literally 0. Zilch. And I literally even put a sponsor on the Lost Alex video. Oh, hey, and also, if anyone I talk about is watching this and you do want to sue me, please, I take it all back. I didn't mean it. I need this. I have kids to feed. Document reading time. Yay. God, what am I doing with my life? I could finish uni or like get a partner or something, but here I am talking about Alex again. God, this is awful. Do you remember that one little piece of info I told you to keep in your back pocket as a surprise tool we could use later? Well, that whole document made by the victim that Alex proudly shows for a stunning 4 seconds wasn't even made by them. Kind of. It's a lot more complicated than you'd think, as the victim technically wrote this, but unfortunately had Alex behind them telling them to change around a bunch of words. Basic sense says that a person's statement might be altered if their abuser has a hand in them writing it. Trust me, I know. I think reading the entire doc and pointing out the parts where Alex influences what they say is the best way I could ever explain how he is an irredeemable monster. So let's pull out some old spectacles and let's go. I reached out to Alex before my sophomore year of school ended. I saw a video of him saying "Yas Queen" on TikTok, which reminded me of his existence, and I decided that it could be fun to talk to him again. He responded to my Discord DM in a very casual, normal way. He started to talk more often until eventually things got a little spicy. At that point, we decided it would be best to move things to Snapchat since he was concerned about being screenshotted. Oh, the irony. And I was afraid of losing my new friend. He asked me for my Snap. I gave it to him, and we started there. We had some casual conversation until the first incident, which is when I decided that I should start recording. Now, here's where Alex gets involved and asked for a few changes in the first paragraph. So what started as a basic testimony of a person being turns into...
I reached out to Alex right before my sophomore year of high school ended. I saw a video of him saying "Yas Queen" on TikTok, which reminded me of his existence, and I decided that it would be fun to talk to him again. He responded to my Discord DM in a very casual, normal way. We started to talk more often until I made things
spicy. At that point, we decided it would be best to move things to Snapchat since he was concerned about being screenshotted. Oh, the irony. And I was afraid of losing my new friend. He asked me for my snap. I gave it to him and we started talking there. We had some casual conversation until the first weird interaction, which is when I decided I should start recording. I saw a little bit about previous allegations as drama from a YouTuber named Ali MCC and wanted to make sure I had proof if he really did turn out to be a
Notice the oh so small word changes until I made things spicy. Once again, Alex is subtly blaming the victim for his behavior. It's not even really subtly anymore. He's just blaming them because it's obviously up to the minor to not make things spicy with the man in his mid-30s. I really feel like we should do every case like this. Epstein, oh man, it's everyone else's fault they were on the island, not his. Alex also left a few comments on the docs, so I read those out now.
Would it be okay to reword this? Things got a little spicy could be interpreted as something really bad, depending on what you're comfortable with. You could say something like, occasionally I would make a spicy joke. He enjoyed talking with me as a friend, but he was worried about being screenshotted talking to someone who was saying spicy things. So he suggested moving to Snapchat because he thought it would give him the immunity to screenshots. LOL.
Because they did get spicy. It was really bad asking a minor to pull out their tits. It's bad. I refuse to lie. Things are more than spicy. Stop complaining. There's a link in the description to all of the comments Alex made on this doc. I'm actively choosing not to read out all of it because I don't want my laptop to become a victim of domestic abuse. Also, the changing of incident to the first weird interaction to kind of make what he did seem less bad than what it actually was. This is all over the statement. The victim says something that can even remotely incriminate Alex and he just changes it. In really laughable ways too. Actually, like here we have this change. On Snap, he was semi-normal, but also kind of pervy, as I'd expect from a man who spends his time looking at anime girls all day every day.
Would it be okay to reword this? Maybe something like, but he had a pervy sense of humor sometimes.
No, you are intentionally pervy to me. Not jokes, just horny. Be grateful that I didn't put lustful for children.
On Snap, he was a semi-normal, but also had a very pervy sense of humor, as I expect from a man who spends his time looking at anime girls all day, every day.
Yes, because being a perv and having a pervy sense of humor just makes you sound so much better. Oh, I'm not racist. Cut that. I resent that. But I do have a racist sense of humor. What are you cooking, Alex? You are burning down the kitchen. Something that is somehow worse than everything I've already spoken about is Alex getting the victim to remove a section where they talk about their use of substances while in these calls. I was really high. Insanely high. Loki wouldn't even remember that we talked if I hadn't recorded. I recorded the voice call, which was quite silly, then sent it to my friends, plus Ali. We thought it would be really funny, but he did say some kind of red flaggy things, jokingly asked me about a dog and a peanut butter, So I decided to keep recording in case he said some other outlandish things in a more serious way. Yeah, that one just got fucked handled. In Alex's perfect, pure and amazing version of the doc, it's just not here. No moving or changing words around to help Alex look better, it just isn't here. So that makes me question why this other stuff is here. I doubt Alex is actually watching this video, but like seriously, if the victim being high during VC is bad, so bad it needs to be removed, then what about everything else? I'm so confused, dude. What's the peanut butter and dog about? Oh god, that's rancid! This was also removed. He said some very interesting things on Snap and over VC throughout our conversations that I asked Ali to clip for my server soundboard, since they were really funny in his monotone voice. Alex starts to get a little more romantic and personal with me, which is why Ali decided to interview me and talk about what blank was in VC. We decided that it was pretty icky and he needed to chill, so the video had a set upload date and everything. Then my friend's TikTok about the situation went viral. He switched the truth a little bit, claiming Alex blanked a 9-year-old to make it more clickable. Then released a small audio clip of Alex being weird and badly explaining how puberty works after we were talking about Kokana's massive honkers. People ran with this all over social media platforms, saying he blanked a ton of underage girls and blah blah blah. Then they started to make some fake screenshots of weird stuff he did. I asked Ali not to upload the video because Alex and I were so stressed about it. She did it anyways. I wanted this video posted in full or not at all. She chose to cut it up into weird bits and change my voice. Not epic. I've forgiven her though. In total, this stuff happened over 6 months. Ali did tell me how to get evidence, what kind of stuff would be concrete proof, and we mutually decided that the best proof we could get would be Alex sending me blank. Her goal for the video was exposing him trying to diddle a minor. My goal was to prevent any future victims if he was truly a blank. Very different reasons for wanting the video. The reason I'm even bothering to read that one out in full is because of how washed this one gets after Alex gets a hold of the controller. The line Alex starts to get a little more romantic and personal with me is changed to remove the romantic part. I wonder why. The bits in blue are the parts Alex added or changed. So if you notice something, you'll realize that there is an entire last paragraph that was written by f***ing Alex. Because it's not just there in the original. People making bad responses to stuff isn't new, but it is very rare to see a person who is already guilty do something so low.
He said some more very interesting things on Snap and over VC throughout our conversations that I asked Ali to clip for my server soundboard since they were really funny in his monotone voice. Alex then started to get more personal with me, which is when Ali decided to interview me and talk about what wasn't VC. I messed it up. I am not sorry. We decided that it was pretty icky and he needed to chill. So the video had a set upload date and everything. Then my friend's TikTok about the situation went viral. He stretched the truth a little bit, claiming Alex, a 9-year-old, to make it even more clickable. Then released a small audio clip of Alex being weird and badly explaining how puberty works. People ran with this all over other social media platforms, saying he, a ton of underage girls and blah blah blah. Then they started to make fake screenshots of weird stuff that he did. I confronted him with these. He showed me the DMs of those people and they were totally empty. I asked Ali to not upload the video because Alex and I were stressed about it. She did it anyways. I wanted the video posted in full or not at all. She chose to cut it up into weird bits and change my voice. Not epic. I've forgiven her though. Ali did tell me how to get evidence, what kind of stuff would be concrete proof, and we mutually decided that the best proof we can get would be Alex sending me, which he never ended up doing. Her goal for the video was exposing him trying to, diddle a minor. Yikes. Glad he didn't. My goal was to prevent any future victims if he was truly which I think she also partly wanted to do. But she was on the Alex hate train, which caused her to be very pushy and manipulative, and it seems more personal than protective. Very different reasons for wanting the video. During this process, I started to feel a real emotional connection with him, major crush, and I started to purposely get reactions out of him for attention. Though nothing illegal happened, I was aware of his social.
Alex's video already made my blood boil because I knew he was guilty. I knew that he wasn't going to take accountability because then how was he supposed to earn money off his crappy game? I knew his own video was going to be some victim blamey trash, but this, with all of my King Crimson Epitaph levels of planning and predicting, I couldn't have imagined him doing this. Going back to the minor he's already hurt and manipulated them into saying Alex was innocent twice. He did this twice. The first time unsuccessfully, and unfortunately this time his plan worked. He managed to trick a victim into basically blaming themselves for his actions, watering down a lot of his crimes and even adding random bits of dialogue like, yikes, glad he didn't, and like, are you taking this seriously at all? The whole last paragraph is a spit in the face to anyone who's had to go through that. To write something like this, about how the minor caught feelings and how her friend who was trying to help was on YandereDev's hate train, you just can't blame it on his sheltered upbringing anymore. People every goddamn day don't do stuff like this. Even the most terminally online losers don't have this much finesse when trying to downplay what they did. And seeing his face when he showed this lobotomized version of the victim's statement really shows the kind of guy he is. More than any video on YouTube could. In Alex's imaginary world where everyone loves Yandere Simulator, his public relations are just fine, Kiwi Thumbs doesn't exist, and the age of consent is a shrug emoji, this is the statement he thinks he deserves. The one that represents reality, which is why he had to add in lines such as, nothing illegal happened and I, in reference to the minor, made things spicy. Because why would Alex ever do anything wrong? At every single turn of his life, there's always been somebody trying to ruin his good name, whether it's the Kiwi farmers, the people who gave him money for his game, the victim of his grooming, I guess. This is what the victim wants, guys. Alex is innocent. Look at the statement that backs him up. And who are we to argue of the victim? But once you realize the type of manipulation Alex used to get this result, like begging them to say it was all a lie and then settling for this second statement I showed is worthless. I believe any victim statement that is tainted with the words of their abuser should not be taken seriously. Even more so when it's Alex, someone who'd lied so many times in his response.
Where do we go from here? Well, I don't think that 3 months of self-care are enough to magically fix every flaw I've ever had. I'm sure I still have plenty of room for self-improvement, but
Can we please tweak this line? I'm not trying to learn. I've already learned. I developed an understanding of why my actions were wrong back in September. I acknowledged that I needed to adjust my mentality and behavior, and I've been working on myself for the past 3 months. Can we please update the text to reflect that?
That's the end of the video. If you don't want to end up in development hell for the rest of your adult life, then stay in school or have a backup plan in case you don't want to do what you're doing anymore. Your chances astronomically go up if you give me money. No, there's no joke, give me your wallet. Thanks to my channel members: Charlie, Levi, Nate Rasmussen, Jesus, that name is really hard to pronounce, Sarah, Israfel's Fire, Sabin, King Johnny TH445, Ant, Pwep, Oliver, Nekocho Official, GrizzlyBear 1996, and Kinda Snowy. You lot keep my boat afloat so I can smoke. Bars, oh yeah. I don't have much else I really want to say, so have a good day. I have something really cool cooking up, so stay tuned. See ya, lads.